Hey guys, Mr. Catlin here doing homework for the week. I know it's a short week, but we can knock these out. They're pretty easy. So we're going to jump right in here with the first lesson, really just ordering and comparing numbers that are negative and positive. It was 5 degrees below Celsius in Copenhagen and 12 below in Oslo. Which city was colder? Really quickly, we can show that with a number line. -5 would be right about here, whereas -12 would be right about here. And since -12 is further to the left on the number line, it is a colder temperature in Oslo. So having that number line there easily shows that. I wanted you to sketch a number line for this next one to show the relationship between all of these different species on a number line for elevation. So elevation, think of 0 as your sea level. All right. So we're going to sketch a number line to help answer this. We have a fish that's 12 meters below the surface, which would put the number kind of back in this range for the fish. This is where our fish is going to be located. And then a bird is flying above sea level. And I probably would have done better with a vertical number line here, but this is fine. 28 would be like double that 12 and then a little bit more. So let's say that 28 is about in here, and this is where our bird is flying. What is its seabird is 28. Above the surface of the ocean, its elevation is 28. And if the bird is directly above the fish, how far apart are they? So we want to know what is the distance from here to here. So we really just want to add the 12 of absolute value that's between these two and the 28 of absolute value that's between these two. And 12 plus 28 does equal 40. So we know that they're 40 meters apart. 40 meters apart. All right, and let's move on to the next part here. Comparing, alligator is always going to want to eat a positive over a negative. So for this first one, alligator wants to eat the positive versus the negative, bigger number versus the other. Now, when they're both negative, the alligator is going to want to eat the one that's closer to 0. So you might have to visualize that 12 is closer to 0 than 24. So the alligator is actually going to want to eat the smaller looking negative number. Okay, because it's value. Opposite of -5 is what this is saying here. This is like saying 5. Okay, the opposite of -5. So those are actually equal to each other. 2/10 past 7 is bigger than 7. But whenever you make them both negative, this one is actually closer to 0. So you have to switch that to less than. 3/2 is the same as 1.5. So these are equal. 4/5 and 5/4 are reciprocal, but since this one is proper, it's closer to 0 because it's lower than 1 as far as value. So it's actually greater in value on the left. 6/10 reduced is 3/5. So these are actually just different ways to write the same thing. And 2 out of 3 compared to 1 out of 3, it doesn't matter about their actual value size. Alligator is always going to want to eat a positive versus a negative. So that's how we can work through those really quick. And then we actually have a review of a percent problem. So let's do this one together really quick with a double number line. Okay, so my double number line, I'm going to have percentages on the bottom. We're always going to have 100% on here. And it says he wants to buy a $30 ticket to a game, but the pre-order tickets are sold out. He knows there will be more tickets sold the day of the game with a 200%. Wow. So 100% with the pre-order was $30. So our question is, what is the dollar value after a 200% markup? Well, this would be a 100% markup. It would double it, right? That would be $60. A 200% markup would put us at 300% of the price. And if we're skip counting by 30s here, that's going to be a $90 value. So 200% markup is not good for him. He's going to be paying $90 for that ticket. That's not good. And that is the first video of our homework to finish lesson 1. You guys are welcome. Have a good one.